Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Not London Narratives. Before before I even start saying anything else, or I even like do anything else, the first thing I want to do is this. Wow, because I have been here countlessly talking about how I am genuinely terrified of Manchester United next season, but I didn't know they would be that good. And oh my god, after watching them today, I don't even know what to say. And I say this because for this game, I didn't write notes. Maybe it was due to my fatigue, maybe it was due to me just being wanting to try something different for the channel. But yeah, I didn't write notes today. And before now, I had to take a nap because I was very exhausted. I've been awake all day trying to follow all the games, and it is really exhausting. But yeah, and now I'm here. But United were really good. And the more concerning part or side of it as a neutral is that a lot of United signings, the Umbuemus, the Cunhas, while they played well today, they didn't necessarily look in sync. Like there were lots of movements and misplaced passes today. And it is really concerning because you're telling me that United, Manchester United, were able to do this to um they were able to do this to what they call them, Arsenal, who I think you guys know Arsenal are one of the best teams in the Premier League. They were able to do this to Arsenal, and their players went really in sync. And all season long, I've been banging on about how Manchester United is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And a lot of people have been thinking, oh, you're just exaggerating. They don't have this, they don't have that. I've told you people countlessly. As soon as I started seeing the signings they were making, added with the fact that Manchester United will be playing one game a week this season, Manchester United will be very terrifying for anybody in the Premier League. And I'm coming here saying this as a Tottenham Hotspur fan. I'm a Tottenham Hotspur fan, granted, but I'm a football fan. I'm not going to look at something good and lie. The same way I predicted Arsenal to win the league, and we're going to get to Arsenal. We're going to get to my take on Gyökeres because I thought it was going to score today. I thought it was going to dominate today. But there were very, very, very exciting things that I saw from United today. And I didn't expect what I saw. So let's start with the stats. So the most important stat of all is the scoreline. So United lost 1-0. Granted, they did to an early, very stupid goal, by the way, from Alte. And we've all known before today, before yesterday, before 3 months ago that United have needed a new goalkeeper. We've all known that Onana is not good enough. We've all known that Alte Bayanda is not good enough. And I think that in order for in order for United to be able to fulfill their potential this year, they need two more signings. They need a midfielder and they need a goalkeeper. And I spoke about how if they were able to get a Baliba, I genuinely think that United could challenge for the top four, is what I said. But because they were not able to get a Baliba, I said top five. And it's very interesting to see because if United, it depends on the midfielder and the goalkeeper that United signed. And I'm telling you guys now, I'm saying it again and again because this United side is only going to get better. The difference between United and Arsenal today was the exact same difference that we saw between Crystal Palace and what they call them and Liverpool, and was the exact same reason why I said Arsenal is going to win the league. In Liverpool, in United, in these teams, there are lots of changes going on. Tactically, player wise, These players are into a new culture, new city, new players. They need to understand each other's movements and all these intricate things. But with the likes of an Arsenal that only Zubimendi and Gyökeres are walking into the lineup, there's less changes happening there. It's the same thing I said with City. And if you guys watch the City game, if you watch the Liverpool game, they looked, while you could tell that there was quality on the pitch, they didn't necessarily look as a team yet. And I spoke about how fine margins are going to be the differences between teams this season because of how strong everybody is. But the thing about this United side is that while there are lots of changes going on in the league, in United, there's also there's also one game a week, which is why Amram is going to have more time on the training pitch, which is Mbuemo is going to be playing one game a week. Cunha is going to play one game a week. Seshko, Bruno, all these players, that are quality players, even when they're playing in Europe, they're going to be playing one game a week, which is genuinely concerning for everybody in the Premier League. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I was saying about this United side. Like, that was the difference today, that Arsenal knew themselves. They knew what they had to do. They knew what the manager required. They know, like, they've been together for what, like going to 6 years. And if this is a team that's challenged for the league in 3 years in a row, and this is going to be their fourth year trying to go for the title. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is a team that have been together. Like, if you look at their lineup today, Martinelli is not new. Gyökeres is new. Sakai is not new. Declan Rice is not new. Zubimendi is new. Odegaard is not new. Calafiori, not new, not new, not new, not new. So you get, this is a team that understand what the manager is trying to do. But if you look at this Arsenal side, especially up here, up here. So here at the back, they were very good. Luke Shaw had an absolutely brilliant game. Like, oh my god, wow, what a player! And it is such a pain that he has not been able to be fit for quite some time. But here as well, you can see this guy coming into the grips of things. He has been improving, and I didn't necessarily watch any United preseason games, but I watched people's reviews on the preseason games. And in preseason, a lot of people were talking about Dogu and how he's starting to settle and actually having or players that are able to execute what Amrin is trying to do is really showing the real Patrick Dogu in this United side. So I found that very interesting. And watching him today, that shot, you're going to see more things like that from Dogu. And if it's not going to be a shot like that, it's going to be a cross for Sheshko. And what is that guy? An absolute unit of a man. He's so big. I saw him beside, what was he beside? Zubimendi today. And I was just like, wow. Like, United actually have a physical presence support. They have a focal point. And I spoke about how Sheshko is going to really, like, elevate the game of the likes of, oh my god, this United side excites me. We're going to get back into that. We're going to get to that. You know what? Let me not go on a tangent. Let me focus on one point at a time. But yeah, if you look up here, these two especially were very good today. I thought Cunha was on a whole new level entirely. He was, I knew, okay, let me be real with you guys. When United signed Cunha, go out there and I go and watch. I go and watch Shanta. Shanta will get to this. We'll get to this. So apparently, on using YouTube Live, you can't display comments. So I can only display comments when I'm using the likes of a StreamYard. And StreamYard has a limit. But yeah, back to the Cunha thing. So I go and watch Matheus Cunha for Wolves, and I check his stats on SofaScore. I see he has had 2 good years at Wolves, and I go and check the videos of his highlights. And after watching that video, all I could think of was Tottenham was so finished because we are so far behind everybody else. That's genuinely the only thing that was going through my head. But yeah, on Gyökeres, the thing about Gyökeres is that I think today United were really good. And I know a lot of people, I was watching a lot of, like, a couple reviews. I think I watched like 2 review shows before, like, I went to bed because I was really exhausted and I needed to rest before this live stream. But I watched like 2 review shows, and the people were talking about how um Manchester United need new midfielders. Now, don't get it twisted. I've been a huge advocate for a Baliba, but it's obvious he's not coming out. That's perfectly fine. But Baliba is somebody that I've spoken and said that it would be nice if United could sign him. And I do know that they need a midfielder. Do you get what I'm saying? But I didn't expect what I expected from United today. Tactically, and this is the thing, I think it's Shanta. Shanta, I've been telling you, tactically, Amrin is an absolute beast. And we saw that today. I don't even know what he did today, but you see that right side, United's left hand side, he nullified Saka. Nothing. This guy cannot do anything today. He got it today, tactically speaking. He nullified Saka, and without Saka, they didn't have an outlet, which is why Gyökeres had to be drifting to the right. And now Gyökeres should not be drifting to the right because now Gyökeres is crossing the ball in for who? You are the one that they bought to be um, nodding the ball and getting on the end of those crosses. But now, because of how Arsenal were playing, sorry, how United were playing, Gyökeres had to try to play as a creator. Aside from that, in the midfield, United absolutely dominated that midfield, in my opinion. And I think that is not even just my feeling. I think that the stats show you everything you need to see. 22 shots compared to 9, 7 shots compared to 3 on target, 62% possession against Arsenal Football Club, a club that has finished second 3 seasons in a row. I get it. We might want to banter Arsenal as Tottenham fans, but that is madness against Arsenal Football Club. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Passes dominated them as well. Pass accuracy dominated them as well. Fouls was less. Yellow cards less. Red card 0. Offsides 1 less. Corners 3. Like, they dominated them basically by every metric and even the eye test. And this is a United side that is incomplete. This is a United side that is in fragments. It's way better than last season, without a doubt. But it's still fragments. There's still missing pieces in this United side. And today they showed everybody what I was saying, that United this season are going to be able to compete with the very best in the league. With the very best in the league. And genuinely speaking, they are going to be one of the very best in the league. United are going to be one of the very best in the league, and that's what I've been trying to say since. This United side and Amram, I've been telling my friends that are United fans. I saw Amram when Tottenham Hotspur played Sporting in the Champions League under Antonio Conte, and believe me, I will carry my chest anywhere and tell you that Antonio Conte is the best manager that Tottenham Hotspur have ever had, in my opinion. And we played Sporting, and we got destroyed. We got destroyed. And mind you, this guy had the likes of a Marcus Edwards. Now, where's Marcus Edwards right now? He had players like Marcus Edwards destroying us. Where's Marcus Edwards? Marcus Edwards right now is a body. That is the caliber of player he had. But he was able to use them to do what they wanted to do. Do you get what I'm saying? This manager, tactically, is top. There's a reason why he was being linked as a replacement for Pep at City. I'm telling you, Amram is not the problem for Manchester United. The problem for Manchester United has always been and will always be the players, which is why they're trying to get rid of them. Onana is not good enough. Sancho is not good enough. Rashford having 2 good seasons in your entire career is not good enough. The season, I think the lockdown season and the Ten Hag season is not good enough. What was again? Hoylund, not good enough. Do you get what I'm saying? These players are not good enough. And you can't tell a Casemiro and a Bruno to be midfielders, like CMs. It's not possible. We saw under Conte, which was when we played our best football in a back three. Players like Højbjerg looked phenomenal. Players like Bentancur looked phenomenal. Do you get what I'm saying? You need a certain profile of players to play in that midfield. And Casemiro and Bruno can't do it long term. Maybe this season they might be able to get away with it because they're playing 1 game a week. But even United signing a midfielder brings it up a whole new conversation. Because now if they sign a midfielder, it means that we know that Mason Mount is going to leave here. So it's going to be Cunha here and it's going to be Šeško here. So now, if it's Cunha here and Šeško here, and you sign another midfielder, where does that leave Bruno? So now it's competition for places. And that takes United to another level entirely. Again, So now you're telling me they're either bringing off the bench a Sheshko, a Mbwemo, a Kunia, or a Bruno. Do you get what I'm saying? And this United side are building. They're building. They're not wasting time. They're not wasting time at all. Um, what did Shanta say? Can we talk some Spurs? I've been depressed since I woke up and I saw Eze on that Crystal Palace squad. We're going to get to Spurs. We're going to talk every top 19. Now, mind you, I didn't watch all the games, but I followed some. But I wanted to start with this one. I wanted to start with this one. But yeah, I found that very interesting. And I've been telling a lot of people that United this year are going to be really strong. And like I said, United need a goalkeeper, United need a midfielder. And I'm telling you guys, with time, with these players understanding each other's gameplay, understanding each other's movements, United, in my opinion, and I've been saying it for a while, is going to be a side to be feared. Now, on the Arsenal front, very good defensive performance, excellent defensive performance. Today, the attackers did nothing for them, but this side, even their midfielders did nothing for them. Maybe towards the end of the game, when the players like Kai Havertz came on, they looked better. But this side was what won the game for them. This part of the pitch was what won the game for them. And that is what I was talking about when I was talking about City and I was talking about the um, Liverpool. They look too open defensively, and over the course of a season, when you want to win a league, you can do that for tournament football. You can play that open for tournament football and do handball or what it looks like any ball now. Score seven, will score eight type of football. But over the course of a season, you're going to have off days. Do you get what I'm saying? And I don't think that that is sustainable long term. But as now, like I said, I've already predicted them to win the league, and I think that they're going to be really good this season. And it was a very, I don't know if grateful is a word, but I will just use grateful. A performance full of grit and fight and an Arsenal side with a point to prove. And the very good marker of a good side. And you can say this about Arsenal because we know Arsenal are a very good side. They finished second 3 seasons in a row, like I just said. But the marker of a very good team, like an elite team, is when you were the second best team and you're still able to win. We saw that in the Super Cup with PSG against Tottenham. We saw that today by every metric, almost any metric you can look at today in this game. Arsenal were second best, but he still found a way to get the result. Do you get what I'm saying? And that is going to be really key because in the grand scheme of things, even though they didn't perform well, they are on the same level of points as the people that they want to be on the same level of points with. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's all that's important, and that's all that matters for Arsenal Football Club. And honestly, I'm excited to see how things develop because Gyökeres didn't have the best game today. Amorim once again destroyed Arteta tactically, and the difference today was that Amorim's team has not been together for long enough, and they have a very bad goalkeeper. That was the difference between the two sides today. If if Amorim's team had been together for quite a number of years, or this is later in the season, I think that today Manchester United win that game, and that was the difference today. That was the difference today. But yeah, um, let's move on from this fixture. Let's move on. So I think we've spoken about this. I've spoken about my concerns. I didn't watch this game. This game. Okay. So this one was a very interesting one. And I want to know you people's thoughts on something. So today, I watched this game. And I don't normally watch Iberichi. But today, I really didn't think that he was all that funny enough. And this is not the first time that I'm watching him and having that opinion. Mind you, there's context to this, being that the first time I watched him and I had this opinion was when there was this game when Tottenham played, um, we played Palace and it was under, and he had just come back from an injury and he scored a free kick. And I think we lost that game 1-0. And this second game, which was today, was the one that is this first game of the season. He might not be very fit and whatever, and it's Chelsea. So there has to be some leeway given. But I didn't think he was all that today. Mind you, he scored the free kick. But that's something that I've noticed. I think he's such a moments player, and he can give you those moments that can be the difference between winning and losing. And that is what I've noticed from the two games that I've seen. Like he when you need him, he can turn up. Do you get what I'm saying? And he's a big game player. That is one thing I've noticed at least. But I didn't think that he was anything special. I didn't think that he was mind blowing or whatever. Maybe I would have to watch highlights to see other things he has done and whatever. But yeah, like I said, I wanted Iberici like 2 years ago when we first linked to him. But since then, I'm not as hyped up about this transfer as everybody else is. Maybe I'll watch the highlights maybe today or tomorrow and I would have a change of opinion. But until then, I'm just like, okay, we're getting him. I've accepted we're getting him and let's just get it over. Savio, I'm excited for. Iberici, considering I don't feel like he really wants us. But yeah, um, back to Chelsea. I thought that Esteval, what a player. And the same thing that I saw with Arsenal today. When I was watching this Arsenal side, and this is the difference between the people that are going to challenge for the league this year and the people that are not. When I was watching this Arsenal side, if you look at while United today were because of their they've made a lot of signings, they're able to bring on a Sheshko, bring on a Diallo, bring on a Maguire. But if you look at the rest of the bench, not so much. Maybe Kobe is a decent player, Zex is a decent player, but these three, they're still very young. And Tom Hitton is quite old. Do you get what I'm saying? But these guys are still very young. But I was looking at the players or the quality of the players that Arsenal were bringing on from the bench, and I was just in awe. They were bringing on a Timber. Mind you, this is their starting lineup, by the way. They brought on Timber, Madueke, Merino, Kai Havertz, Luis Kelly. Like these were quality players. And me just seeing those players marching onto the pitch like soldiers and coming to that pitch to do a job was just genuinely terrifying because I'm like, when did Arsenal's depth become this good? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, when did Arsenal's depth become this good? And today, I don't even think, from what I'm seeing here, Norgard wasn't even on the bench. Do you get what I'm saying? Norgard wasn't even on the bench. It's crazy that Arsenal's depth is this good. Like, honestly, it's insane that he have this kind of depth. Shante said, for his price, he's good. At least he's better than what we have right now. Level. He's known for his dribbling, which we will need to hold on to the ball. In the final third, we never had that aspect. Let me tell you, yeah, Shanta, from what I saw today, that guy loses the ball quite a bit. Like, I get it, he's a risk taker and he's trying to dribble and create things, and naturally you lose the ball more times than not. But then when you have a Polinia, that's why you have a Polinia to win the ball back. And by taking that risk, the reward is higher. I understand. But when like I think Kudus is an absolute unicorn because not only can he take on a man, he's extremely strong. Like he's like a Saka in that aspect. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Sakati Jebaton. He has eaten Eba, Nigerian food. He has eaten it. Yoruba boy. But like things like that, like he's so strong. Saka is so strong. But then when you have players like Salah too, is so strong. Do you get what I'm saying? But when you have players like Iberici that sort of take on people and lose the ball, it makes you sort of appreciate Kudus more. Because for you to be able to have that level of flair and still be that physically dominant, it is extremely rare. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And it is like top. It is top, honestly. Compared to him, Morgan Rogers are 90 million. Jesus Christ, 90 million. That's a joke. There's no way I will pay that for Morgan Rogers. Let me check. Morgan Rogers transfer market. What's the value that? 55 million euros. There's no way we sign Morgan Rogers for 90 million. There's no way. 60, 70. Villa value him around 90 million. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Wait, okay. Which is way more expensive. He's better than Odegaard, arguably Madison and Kulu, and a lot of players in that position and price. Granted. Like I said, I sort of have a distaste in my mouth when it comes to Easy. And maybe if he comes to Tottenham and he shows me his quality and I'm watching him every week, I would understand and I would have a change of opinion, maybe. But until then, he has to he has to buy me on, like bring me on side. Sorry, he has to bring me on side. Until then, he has to work for it, and maybe I will come on side very quickly, like the same way sports fans are really coming on side quickly with Kudus, even though he came from West Ham. Do you get what I'm saying? But just watching him is a breath of fresh air. Do you understand? So maybe he'll be able to do that. But yeah, this guy, let me tell you, people, yeah, there's been hype. There's been hype. Like I've heard a lot of things. But watching this guy come on today, and he came on for like the last like 20 minutes or something like that, he's a real problem, this guy. And what a player, honestly. Because the guys on commentary said something that for you to be able to break into the Brazil national team at 17, you have to have something about you. He broke into the Brazilian national team at 17, or Brazil national team at 17. I'm watching him today when he came on for Gittins and then Pedro moved to the left. Neto moved to the left. What a player, honestly. And Chelsea too, the same thing that I was talking about when I was talking about Arsenal. Having the likes of Dilap, Andre Santos, Gusto, Esteval, Hato, Fofana. I don't know too much about Isugo, but like having players of this quality be able to come on from the bench is incredible. Like, and that is what separates the very best from the rest. Like, do you get what I'm saying? And that is why teams like Chelsea, teams like Arsenal are in the title conversation, because it's not even just about the first 11 that they have, it's also about who they have under that first 11 and who they have supporting that first 11. I heard there are some issues with upfront payment that Palace is asking for. Liverpool won't pay that kind of money upfront. I feel like we might look for other options. Doesn't that concern you? Like that we might look for other options on Eze and Savio. Or if we're not able to sign Eze, don't we go for Morgan Rogers and play Morgan Rogers as the 10 and then play Savio on the left wing? What do you think, Shanta? Because I think Rogers is a 10. But yeah, um, let me see. Which other fixture is there on matches? This team, by the way, this team, I thought that I didn't watch the game, but I thought that last season was a fluke. I thought last season was a fluke, but seeing this result, I'm genuinely terrified that Nottingham Forest could become another Newcastle United or another Villa. Because before there was Newcastle, I think there was Villa. I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, Newcastle and Villa around the same time, to be fair. But another Newcastle, another Villa. And they are really becoming a good team. And their transfers have really been worrying me, to be honest. And I'm not going to come here and act like I'm not worried about Forest. I am. I am. And they are really growing into something really concerning. And I feel like Aston Villa is one of those teams that when you think back to that moment during lockdown um when the ball went over the line against Sheffield, I think, and because the goal line technology couldn't see the ball because the goalkeeper was above the ball and whatever. You think back to moments like that and you think back to like things like that and you realize how much of a turning point and how different life at Aston Villa could have been considering where they are now just by that. And I think that Nottingham Forest, looking at things like keeping Gibbs White, things like Crystal Palace not being in the Europa League and them being in the Europa League. I feel like these little things could be some of the things that we look back at later on and be like, yeah, that was the point where things really changed for Nottingham Forest. And it's genuinely concerning because, like I said, everybody's just looking stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And the league is getting stronger. And, like, as a football fan, I'm excited. Like, you guys could see or hear the joy in my tone of voice when I was talking about United. But as a Spurs fan, I am genuinely concerned because it feels like every year, every second, we're getting left behind. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. But yeah, so Palace won't accept like four payments over 4 years, which is what Levy offers. They need it to be paid over the next year, is what I'm hearing. Telling me to pay like what 60, 68 million over the next year is an absolute joke. And let me tell you, from what Ben Jacobs has said, Crystal Palace are bluffing. Let me tell you, from what Ben Jacobs has said, he said that they're trying to sell both Guehi and Iberici. And they understand that it will be dumb for them to lose them on a free, the both of them. So it's either you sell or nobody's going to come because when I listen to Ateta, I've listened to two Ateta interviews. I listened to one again today, and he was just talking about outgoings. He didn't talk about incomings. So right now, nobody is coming for these players. So you either sell him to us or you lose him on a free in a year's time. And if he's not going to come to Tottenham as well, then that's perfectly fine. We'll sign him Morgan Rogers and we'll sign Savi if the deals are better for us financially and can have better structure. But I'm not going to die on a hill for Eze when the deal is stupid. It's the same thing with Savio. While I want Savio and I like Savio as a player, I'm not going to die on that hill if the deal is stupid. Like Savio is there no Musiala that I would lose my mind over. There are no um do you get what I'm saying? There are no Musiala, there are no Cherky or something crazy like that that I would lose my mind over. But like I feel like there are players that we could get something to replace them. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm not really fussed about it. If Palace don't want to deal, then that's perfectly fine. We would look for another deal. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, if you look at, I was watching United today, and while I know that Mbeumo is a good player, I'm very grateful to God that Mbeumo did not accept us because watching Kudus and watching Mbeumo, I'm telling you, for what we're trying to do, I think that I think that Kudus is the better fit for what we're trying to do. Doesn't mean that Kudus is a better player. Maybe you would have to prove that over time because currently it looks like Umbuemo is based on the numbers. Ability wise, you might debate that, but like talent wise, sorry, you might debate that, but based on what they've shown. But for what Tottenham was for need, even though Kudus was not our first choice, it looks perfect. Do you get what I'm saying? And it really fits what we're trying to do. And he's just so strong. Like, whenever I talk about Kudus, I always talk about strength because I've watched Brennan on the wings for years. I've watched Min Son on the wings for years, and he's just so strong. And I can't downplay how important that is, honestly. But yeah, if you like what you're hearing, please leave a like, please subscribe and turn on post notifications. And welcome to Not London Narratives. You guys can also leave comments because just Shanta and I can see that there are other people viewing. So please leave comments and let's talk. Let me hear what's on your mind. Let's share your thoughts with me and let me know what's on your mind. So yeah, what did Shanta say? Chris Wood is crazy and Ndoye as well. They have a better lineup than us for real. Honestly, especially their front three or their front four is better than ours. And that's the thing, like when you start having conversations like this and like how Clubs like Newcastle have surpassed us from behind. Clubs like Aston Villa have surpassed us from behind and things like that. Like it makes you really fear. It makes you really fear. And while we have Thomas Frank, who is an absolute peach of a manager, he's not a magician. Do you get what I'm saying? Like he's not a magician, he's human and he can only work with what he has. We don't have time to look for someone else. The window closes in 14 days. Oh my god. Look, Shanta, honestly, I'm still relaxed, I'm still calm. I'm under no, while I would complain, I'm not tensed or nervous or terrified. No, I'm calm and I trust that the board will not leave their new manager with the likes of Odobe and Brennan Johnson and Matistel as his left winger. I am very certain they won't do that. That is why I'm calm. And I'm telling you, if we're not able to sign Eze, we will sign Savio. If we're not able to sign Savio, we will sign, what's his name? Morgan Rogers. We will sign somebody. I am very sure of that. Now, whether that person will be exactly what we need is another question, but we will sign. We will. I'm certain we will. I'm very certain we will. So yeah, I'd rather overpay and get easy than go to the season with Sa and Bergvall as the options. I don't know how long Kulu is out for, but I don't even know. I think that if we're unable to sign anybody, because Thomas has spoken about how he doesn't want to sign anybody that he doesn't feel like can improve the squad. And I feel like if we're not able to sign anybody in this world where we're not able to sign anybody, he would probably go to a back three, sorry, and use the wing backs for creativity instead of playing a 4-2-3-1. Or he could try this funny thing he has been trying with sign the 10, or he might try to make Bergval into the number 10. So yeah, that's what I think he's going to do. I think that's what he's going to do. So yeah, they did that with Ange. They left him with Johnson, Werner, Tell. No, 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 no. Let me tell you now. Werner doesn't come into the club not once but twice. If Ange doesn't say that he wants Werner to come to the club, do you get what I'm saying? And you guys watching, come on, please leave a like, please. It's the very least you can do. Please and thank you. Thank you very much. But yeah, Werner doesn't come to the club if the manager doesn't want him. Do you get what I'm saying? Son, Son was Son, and he really regressed in the last year. Then Matistel was signed in January. It's the job of the scouts to know whether a player is ready or not the job of the manager. Matistel, when he came to Tottenham, looked like he was physically underprepared for the Premier League. Do you get what I'm saying? And that is the job of the scouts, not the manager, in my opinion. So now he's looking stronger physically. He looks like he has been going to the gym a bit and he's looking stronger. He's diving into tackles and things like that. And that's exciting to see. Brennan Johnson was the manager's priority signing, according to the likes of Alistair Gold. So, yeah, that is that's all I have to say about it. That should tell you all you need to know about the manager's talent ID. So yeah, well, no manager will want Vanna as the first choice. Everybody wants Palmer and Haaland, but there's a budget that Levy gives you and an age bracket, which is why Vanna is what I'm thinking. All I'm going to say is, I get you, but things with how Thomas Frank has done things now will tell you otherwise. Like Some of the signings that Conte was asking for were unrealistic in the sense that they didn't want to come to Tottenham, like a Bastoni, a Vadio. Then we have Conte got Perisic, who was well over the age that we normally sign. Paulinia, well over the age that we normally sign. And so far, Thomas Frank has gotten very sensible signings around the same prices that we signed. And if you look at for Ange, we signed Madison that was like what 26, 27. We signed Van de Ven that was 22. Yeah. We signed Vicario, that's a good age for a goalkeeper. We signed, it was Udogi's first season. We signed Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson was 47.5 million, not too far off Kudos. Like, you get what I'm saying? If you look at the signings, it's still very similar. It's just that this manager has a better talent ID, and the even aside from talent ID, the fee and the age is still similar to what we've been doing over the years. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel like it's still similar to what we've been doing. I don't think Frank has done anything. Wow. I don't think Frank has done anything. What do you mean can do anything? Do you mean can or has? Because those are two different things, Shanta. I don't think Frank can, let's read it as has done anything until he gets Eze and Savinio. It will be the same story for me. If he can't get those two transfers through, then this window will somewhat look like the other windows. Well, we actually signed first team quality. This window is better than a lot of the other windows. If you think back to a window under Conte, let me show you. Um, no, 2023. No, let's check 23, 24. The window is named them Bisuma. What's going on? This is my hotspot issue. Is a real problem. And until this Starlink is here or is has been set up, I will keep on having this issue. There's some sites will not work. Don't know why. Um, I'm coming. No, no, it's not 2023. No, 2022. Yeah. So if you look at that year, we brought in Jet Spence, not a starter. We signed Udogi, but we loaned him back to Udinese. We signed Clement Lenglet, not a starter. Richarlison, not a starter. Fraser Foster, not a starter. Perisic, starter at wing back. Yves Bissouma, we thought to be a starter, but he ended up these players 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was only Perisic that was the starter. The following year was the year HK left, I believe. And why isn't it changing? Yeah, was the year HK left. We signed Brennan Johnson. My God, Jesus Christ. We signed Brennan Johnson, starter Alejo Velis, not a starter. We signed Van de Ven, starter. Ashley Phillips, not a starter. Solomon, not a starter. Kulu, we've already spoken about how he was part of the team. But was Kulu a starter under Ange? It was Brennan. Kulu wasn't a starter. Yeah, it was Brennan, it was Richie, and it was Son. Then it was Madison, Bentancur, and Bissouma and Hoybier. Yeah. So Kudu wasn't a starter. Um, so we have here Brennan Johnson as a starter, Van Venda as a starter. We needed a left centre back, by the way. Vicario starter, Pedro Porro starter, but Pedro Porro was already at Tottenham. Madison starter. This was arguably the best window we had starter wise, but we lost a lot. We had a lot of things to do. The following year, we signed Timo Werner, not a starter. Radu Dragic, not a starter. Bergvall, not a starter. Archie Gray, not a starter. Solanke, the only starter. the starter. The starter now, it looks like it's going to be second choice to Richarlison. Oh my god, what have he signed? Record signed. Odobe, not a starter as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So, by that metric, this window has already been an exceptional window because Yao Polinia is a starter, Kudus is a starter. We've already brought in two starters compared to our other windows. Do you get what I'm saying? We've already brought in two starters. Um, I don't think Frank has done any. Okay, except except Kudus seems to be a great signing. I agree with you on that. I think every Tottenham fan right now will agree with you that Mohamed Kudus looks to be at this point in time the best thing to come out of um that Tottenham Hotspur front line, honestly. And like I said yesterday, the thing about Richarlison is that Richarlison for Brazil and Richarlison for Tottenham Hotspur look like two different players, and I think that's because of the quality of players he has with him. If you tell Richarlison not to hold up the ball, not to do all this other stuff, and just go into the box and score goals, he looks better than he is. Do you get what I'm saying? And even the scoring goals, there are some question marks about it when he's missing a header from 1 yard out. Do you get what I'm saying? But he looks better than he is. And giving him less responsibilities, or the less responsibilities we give him, the better for him. So yeah, that's the thing about a player like Richarlison. Um, Frank is great as a manager and coaching, but till I don't see Eze and Savinio, or till I see Eze and Savinio in my team, I can't change my mind. I agree with you. I agree with you. The quality we have is not good enough. The players we have are not good enough, and until we replace certain players in that lineup, we can't really do much next season. Maybe top 10, but that's just about it. And if we don't sign anybody, the only people that would benefit from it really will be Odobe and Matistel, because they would have a lot of game time to develop. So that would be good for them and their development. But as a team, and what's best for Tottenham Hotspur, we would only fall further behind, because now things that were meant to do this window will push it to next window, and things that were meant to do next window will push it to next, and like that, like we always do. And other teams that have gotten solutions to their transfers, or potential solutions to their issues this year, and now next season is the one that they need to improve on, they will go and improve on. The ones that they need to rectify, they will rectify. The ones that don't smash it out of the park, they will replace, and things like that. So yeah, like, it's just snowballing with Tottenham if we don't do it this year. um Bissouma was a starter, and Richarlison was a decent signing as he was performing good with Everton. I think Bissouma was a starter in a 4-3-3, but in a 3-4-3, which is what we're playing under Conte, he wasn't necessarily somebody that was good in a 3-4-3, like in a midfield too. No, because he likes to take risk on the ball. In a 3-4-3, you have to be safe, you have to be tidy, like Hoybier, which is why Hoybier looked so good in a 3-4-3. So I think The Bisuma was a starter, yes. Quality wise, yes. Compared to what we have, yes. But considering the manager that they signed him for, I don't think so. Considering the manager that they signed him for, I don't think so. Mm. Um, on Richarlison, he's a special player, honestly. I used to think he was good when I used to watch him in the early days for Everton. But look, Jesus, look at his market value. This is a guy that we signed for 60 million. How do we sell this guy? Wow. Look, look. Wow. Anyways, Richarlison, yeah, in the early days at Everton, I thought he was a good player. I think in his first season, scored a couple goals. Second season, scored a couple goals. But then there was a point in time when I was watching him, and Richarlison doesn't know how to place his shots. A lot of his shots used to go directly to the goal, and I found that very interesting. And if you guys watch him at Tottenham, it's the exact same thing. His shots go directly to the goalkeeper. He doesn't know how to place it. And I know me saying this is crazy now, considering the last two goals he scored, he placed them. But if you see Richarlison one on one, he actually doesn't know how to like find the sites. And it's crazy that this guy made it as a professional footballer. But yeah, I find that incredibly interesting. I don't think he knows how to find the sites. So yeah, honestly, it's very interesting. He's a very interesting player, honestly. A unicorn of a player. And I find that very interesting. Like I said, does this Alisson performance change my mind? Does it change my opinion on whatever? No, it doesn't. I know that I don't want Richarlison in my team long term, and I will still sell him. If anything, I will sell him now because now is one of the few times he's ever fit, and he has scored goals. So his stock market is high. Everybody will be watching him and talking about him. His flavor of the week. So now will even be the best time to sell because for somebody that we signed 60 million and this is market value, I don't know. I don't know what we're selling for. I honestly don't know what we're selling for, honestly, and I don't know who we sell him to or who is going to want to buy him. Look, all you see here is plus signs, injuries, injuries, injuries. Jesus Christ. God, let me see. Um, this is the first time I'm trying this. I've never tried this before. Well, you learn new things. Let's compare the two of them. Two amazing players, phenomenal players last season. So, 28 years old, 27. Sholanke is taller by 2 centimeters. Look at their market values. Even Sholanke is even worth more than Richarlison. Heat map is insane. He does a lot of work. Average rating 6.65, 6.88. The two of them are just as bad as each other. Oh my god. He's such a penalty box striker. And that's that. See, that's the thing about Sholanke. Yeah. I feel like bringing players under this new manager will really help take his game. Sorry, I'm trying to remove the ads. No, 24, 25, 24, 25. I'm trying to remove the ads. Will really help take his game to another level. One thing that I think Sholanke is good at is being a fox in the box, getting on the end of loose balls and things like that. He's very good at that. But if you're telling him to hold up the ball, which he was doing well, by the way, when he first came to Tottenham, and he was dropping deep, and Brennan was playing as the inside forward, and that's when Brennan went on that run of games when he was scoring every week. If you're telling him to do that, which he was doing well at the beginning, he showed me he could, but now too much time with Madison, and now any small thing is falling on the floor. Minutes per game. Ah, God, what am I doing now? My hand is just pressing rubbish. Okay. Minutes per game. 34 minutes per. Oh my god. If you if you don't laugh, you cry. Oh, 34 minutes per game for 60 million. Wow. Wow. Minutes played. 500 minutes. That's like that's like a kid that you're integrating into the side type of minute. Wow. Matches played 40. You know what? Let's not use last season. Let's use both of their best seasons. Okay, let's use both of their best seasons. Yes, I think Sri Lanka's best season was the season with Bournemouth. That was 23-24. Yeah, yes. Okay, let's do this instead. Let's be fair. Because Richarlison was fit for a fair bit. This was his best season. Let's even see him in his best season. So, okay. Um 7.08, 7.04. So Richarlison was rated better. Sri Lanka's heat map is still similar. Basically does everything, but it was mostly here once again. Richarlison too for what it was available for. Because if you see here, 1,500 minutes, less than half as Sri Lanka, but what it was available for too is also a penalty box striker. So that's very similar because they take up the same areas. Um, Matches played 54, sorry, minutes per game, 54 minutes per game. So even in his best season, 54 minutes per game is the best that he has been able to do. What a joke. Then matches played 28, 1,500 minutes. And mind you, okay, I think that season Tottenham were not in Europe as well. Tottenham were not in Europe. I wanted to say Sri Lanka was only playing in the Premier League. But anyways, so goals 11, 19. Expected goals 19.63. And I've said it, this guy is not clinical. He's not clinical. He underperformed his XG. Then Sri Lanka, I said Sri Lanka, Richarlison overperformed his XG. I don't even know how we managed this. How we managed to do this, I have no clue. But okay. Goals per game 0.4, goals per game 0.5, shots off target 0.8, 1.1. See this guy, shots off target. He's not clinical. Big chances means 14. And this is our record signing. Let me see. Wait, okay. Wait. All the other windows, we signed at least 3 to 4 starters. This window is just one starter and one loan. It's just a shame, man. But the loan is a starter. The loan is a starter. Like if you're telling me that Kulu and Bentancur were starters, then you should count Paulinia as well. It's only fair. I don't know why Frank plays Johnson over Odebe in games like Burnley. Like these are games where he can shine and grow. Why play Brennan? He's just a waste of space. I'm I know it's waste of space. Me, I know it's waste of space. And I agree with you. But yeah, honestly, I agree with you. That was the same I was thinking. Like, and even aside from that, Brennan has shown us that he doesn't look good on the left. And if anything, right now, as things stand, that's the only place he has a chance of getting into this lineup. Because except if something happens to Kudus, that guy is not smelling that right wing again, except maybe against the lower league sides or something, or maybe for tactical reasons. He's not smelling that right wing. So you should better start getting comfortable on that left. And even that left step will still push him out of the whole lineup completely by God's grace. I'm liking Richarlison more to be honest, because maybe because he's Brazilian and not just an English fish and chips. Stop now. Your nationality has nothing to do with this. Sri Lanka could never do what Richie did yesterday. Don't worry. Just believe. Believe in your number nine, your record signing. How would you say your record signing cannot do what your previous record signing cannot do? That's why is the new record signing. It's meant to surpass that one. Just believe. We signed rubbish. Jesus. Assist per game. 0.145. They both overperformed their assists. Let me check. Um, I don't care about all these ones that are your number nine. Who cares about your dribbling? Um, but yeah, I've seen the major thing that I want to see. The major thing that I want to see is in this place. And these guys are not good enough, honestly. But it looks like that's what we're going to be going to the season with. So this is what it is. But yeah, I'm definitely not excited. But the interesting thing now is I think I'll watch this game tomorrow because I'm excited to see it. And Anton Stark. I'll be stuck. Anton Stark. But yeah, I'm excited to see Leeds, and I'm excited for this next week. Now, this game is an incredibly interesting one because wait, let's go back and check the stats because I watched bits of this game, but what I saw, Wolves destroyed them, but they didn't have the quality to finish them off. And then because they didn't have the quality to finish them off, City Tijani, moment of madness. He beats two players, gives a through ball to um, Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis cross passes it across, and Haaland taps in. Then Tijani, another moment again, goal again. Then Haaland on the counter, goal again. Like it was just a difference in quality, honestly. It wasn't really domination. And even though City won four, you can still tell that these guys were not out of this game in any way, shape, or form. They had bare touches on the ball, their passes were good, they had a lot of offsides. Their striker, I don't even know his name. What was it? What is it? Where is he? This guy. He can't stay on the side to save his life. This one too made a very silly mistake for one of the goals. Like it was just they used their own hand to do themselves. And I don't think that City were anything special. But if this is anything to go by, the back three and the tactics were really good, like I said, but they didn't have quality up front. And it makes you concerned for Wolves in a sense because now that Cunha is gone, where exactly do they see goals from? Like, you get what I'm saying? But they will have to sort out themselves. But yeah, it makes you think of how we would need to set up against City next week. And honestly, I don't know. I think that if we want to beat City, we have to do something similar to what we did against PSG. But I don't think that something like that is going to work against City. I don't think that we're going to be able to dominate City from set pieces. I don't think so. I think that we'll be able to beat them on the counter, but like from set pieces, I don't think so. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. But yeah, that's my own take on that. I don't even know how we set up against them because I've not seen enough of City. I mean, I had a clue of what PSG will look like and how we frustrate them. But considering how impotent we looked going forward against PSG, it makes you wary going into this City game. And I'm excited that hopefully we have an Iberechi. Okay, you know what? Let's even assume we have an Iberechi and let's build a team around that. So this is possibly most likely going to be a Danzo because I don't think we try to go band for band against City. Funny enough, what do you guys think in the comments? Shanta, because Shanta seems to be the only one living in comments today. Shanta, what do you think? Do you think that we go 4-3-3, like, and just do like a very hard-working midfield of Polinia, Pape Matassa, and Bentancur? Or how do you think we set up against the City side? Because I don't think a back three is the way forward, honestly. I think we go. I think a 4-3-3 will do. What do you think? What do you guys think? Let me start building my team while I wait for your comments. Um, left back. These are left back. Jed. Our right back is Poro. Pororo. Pororo. Yeah, Palinia. I think this is going to be Sasature. Sasature. Sportsmans are just cruise, I swear. Rodrigo Bentancur. Um, Rodrigo Bentancur. So nobody has any thoughts on our potential formation. Okay, but me, I think this would be the best way to go. Because I don't think that City is that all that we need to um that we need to use a mid back five. I think this will do. And is it home or away? Is it home or away? It is away. We're away. So that's very interesting. But yeah, I think this lineup will do against City. And hopefully you're able to do this. But then I think and just the presence of this guy here makes this team look so much stronger. Do you get what I'm saying? Like honestly, it makes us look so much stronger. And like it's really exciting the prospects of what this team could do against City. But yeah, I think this would be the way to go. Use a very hard working midfield to replace what you have or the lack of what you have in technical ability compared to a side like City. And City against Oscar Bob, oh my god, that guy's a problem. And Oscar Bob plays on the where on the right. That's going to be left. I'm going to really be excited with that battle, seeing that battle with Jet Spence and Oscar Bob, because watching Oscar Bob, my God, what a player! So yeah, this is what they use. They use the 4-3-3, so it's going to be Bernardo. I think this is probably going to be the same lineup they use. Yeah, this is probably going to be the same lineup they use. I don't think they use Egundogan against us, or he's going to. I think I don't even know. I think we're going to be solid defensively, so they're going to need players that can break us down. I don't think Marmoush is that profile, so I think it's going to be Doko and Oscar Bob. I think this is going to be the front three. This is going to be the same midfield. Yeah, but this guy is going to be more advanced to spread the pitch. Yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, if I really don't know what to expect from this game, honestly, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited, but I think that this will be the best way to approach this game and just try to like be work hard and give the ball to players that can create things. And now having these two on the pitch, you can't just double up against Kudus or double up against this one. And in possession, this could turn into this when we have the ball. But without the ball, back to this or this. Yeah. So yeah, then turn back to this in possession. So yeah, I don't know really what to expect in this game. But I would look forward to what Thomas Frank is going to do. And I think it's going to be a very interesting thing for him because let's even check um his first few fixtures. So he has City, he has Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, Wolves, and Leeds. That's a fair start. That's a fair start. But yeah, you need signings tomorrow. You need signings tomorrow. So yeah. Um I thought that this what is it? This result was incredibly exciting because I've had doubts about Graham Potter, but I was willing to give him the benefit of a doubt. And the thing is, I watched reviews, like one review about this game, and the person spoke about how West Ham created chances. They just couldn't find the back of the net. And that was the difference today between them and Sunderland. Sunderland could, like, they dominated possession, they created chances, they did everything, but they couldn't find the back of the net. And Sunderland could. And this season is going to be a really incredibly interesting season because this is going to be the first time in a minute that West Ham will not have Mikel Antonio. And in other seasons, when they've signed the likes of a Kufu Krug, they've signed the likes of a Skamaka, they signed what's the name of that Brown that signed I said Brown. Yeah, he was Brown. Haller, Sebastian Haller. Every time they've signed all these guys and the strikers have not clicked, they've always had Antonio to um, get them out of trouble. But now Antonio is not there anymore. It's exciting to see how they evolve, and I'm genuinely scared for Graham Potter. And I feel like if he's not careful, he could really lose his job. He could really lose his job, and it's going to be exciting to see. But yeah, which other teams? I think that like I said, I missed this game as well. But from the things I saw, I heard that they needed a striker, and from the stats here, wow, because Eddie Howe always destroys Unai Emery whenever they meet, tactically, every time. Let me show you guys. Um, Newcastle versus Aston Villa results. How do I check their results over the years? How do I check their results over the years? Um, how do I check past results? Okay, you know what? Let's try it. Yeah, okay. 16th of August. Yeah. Ah, can you imagine? Yeah. So, yeah. So if you look here, this one was 0-0. The last one they played, Aston Villa destroyed Newcastle 4-1. The last one, Newcastle destroyed them 3-0. Newcastle destroyed them 3-1. Newcastle destroyed them 5-1. Then Villa won this one. Then Newcastle destroyed them 4. Like a lot of the time when they meet, this guy always gets the better of him. Majority of the time, anyhow. And on this day, he was able to get away with murder because Newcastle didn't have a number 9. And that was basically the conversation I had, that you can tell that they need a number 9. That somebody made a statement that between the front three that they had today, Barnes, Gordon, and Elanga, that I think the person said Isak had more goals than every single one of them last season. And I don't know how true that stat is, but let me check. Let's check. So last season, Isak had 27 goals. Gordon had 9, so 9. Then you had Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes had 9 as well. Wow, he had the same amount of goals as Gordon. Wow, that's 18. Then you have Elanga. Elanga, that's 6. That's 18. 18 plus 6, that's 24. Yeah, so it's correct. Isak alone had 27 goals, and the three of them combined had 24 goals. So yeah, and the person was like, I think it was Steve Nicol, and he was like, that alone should tell you all you need to know about this Newcastle side without Alexander Isak, because they dominated possession, created a lot of chances, but couldn't find the back of the net. And like some Newcastle fan channels that I've watched have said that lots of games last season that they dominated, or sorry, that they didn't play well, but Isak was able to get them out of trouble. But if you're telling me that from this season they're not going to have that, then I you start to worry for them, and especially now when like they haven't brought in a replacement. Now, as a Tottenham Hotspur fan, I'm delighted. Do you get what I'm saying? That's one less team for us to worry about, or in some ways at least. Doesn't mean that they won't still be good. They will just be less good. But that's one less team for me to worry about. But as a football fan, it's heartbreaking to see what is happening with them. But I think they'll be fine. I think they will become a better team, even though they might not have the better players or the best player anymore. I think they will become a better team because now they're improving their depth and things like that. So I think for that they will become a better team. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. If you're new here, please leave a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys by God's grace tomorrow night, 10 p.m. every day, 10 p.m. on not London Narratives. So yeah, please like, please subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And take care, guys. Bye bye. Thank you, Shanta. By the way, thank you so much for your comments. I'm really grateful to you. Thank you so much. RVT, you probably watched this back, but yeah, thank you so much for your comments as well, because I know we spoke earlier today. So yeah, thank you so much for your comments, and I would like to encourage other people to leave in comments because that would really help to have conversations with you guys, and it would make my streams longer because a lot of the time, like sometimes I'm not able to stay as long as I would want to. Like the ideal time I have for streams is 10 to 12, but if I don't really have things to talk about anymore, I'd have to cut the stream short. So yeah, thank you guys so much for your support. Honestly, I'm truly grateful to every single one of you, and I really can't put it into words. Honestly, the channel has really been doing well. Well, like based on watch hours, I'm doing really well. Like compared to how it was before I even um before I deleted my last channel. But like based on subs, I'm not there yet. I said I had over 300, and now I have like 72. Yeah, I have 72 now. So I still have a bit to go before I get to 300 plus. But like watch hours, I've been able to near what I was at before. So yeah, I'm truly grateful to every single one of you, honestly, and thank you so much for the support. So yeah, have a lovely night, guys, and take care. Bye bye.